Shovel?
Shovel, yeah. So, is it filming? Perfect. So,
It's not Japan.
It looked like it.
Can you guys be quiet?
one spring break long time ago. And if you're submitting the warm-up, stay tech up, that's good. However, if you already submitted or you're done, please tech down and just listen to this brief story. So one spring break long time ago, I'm from the UP way up here, right? I got into my car, I'm going to drive to Florida to get out of the snow. So, driving down this way, it's about a 25-hour drive. I want to get to Key West, however, so it's like a 30-hour drive. I took a break somewhere around here where this little midpoint is. If you know about geographical landmasses, the Appalachian Mountains or the Smoky Mountains are all up in here. You can see the green. Gatlinburg, Tennessee is like a very touristy town. I stopped there, and my friend and I, we got an early start to the morning. We left around 7 a.m., and we took the scenic route into the mountains. And if you've ever driven in the mountains, the roads will wind and wind and wind through all these trees and all these things. And if you've heard about people that live in the mountains, there are some stereotypes that they catch people and they eat them in the mountains, okay? So when we're driving, and that's like a stereotype you see in movies, but we were driving, and we see all of these weird things. For instance, there was this like sewn doll stabbed to a tree that said no trespassing. And it was like this little doll. And we were driving and there would be these houses, all these keep out signs. Kept driving, the gas is getting low. And the road that Google Maps is telling us to drive down all of a sudden turns into a dirt road. My friend says, let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. We drive down this dirt road until finally it's impassable. There are rocks all over. It's blocked. So we're like, that's kind of bad. We have to go all the way back through the fun house that we just drove through. So we drive all the way back at like 15 miles per hour because you look over the edge and it's straight down into mountain holes, right? So we're driving around on this little road, and we finally start making it back to what we could call civilization. There are some houses, there are a couple of people like living areas, right? And in the mountains it looks kind of strange. However, we're driving through Cosby, Tennessee, right here. And we see out our window two individuals fighting in their lawn at 9 in the morning. There is an older man, he's about 55, and he is on the ground, and a younger man, about 40, is on top of him, strangling him. Now, with this, the rest of this story, it might sound funny. However, it's completely true, and I remember it vividly. We stop, and my friend rolls down the window on the other side because I'm the driver, and he yells out because what he has learned to do in situations where people are not in the right mind, and they're out of their mind, is to ask a simple question. So he does this, he says, hey, do you know where the interstate is? The man gets up off of strangling this older man, and he comes and he points, he says, I-40's that way. My friend is like, okay, and I'm like, okay. He's not strangling him anymore. That's good. He bends over and picks up a full-blown shovel. The one that's in the agenda, the heavy metal ones. The man is laying on the ground and he's kind of like weary. And he takes the shovel and he smashed him on the head with the full shovel. In this moment, I did not know what to do. My friend was right next to me. He said, drive, 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 drive. So I did. And I regretted that decision. We called the police. And we said we've witnessed some sort of attack. An actual murder attack. Because it was a terrible sight. We called back later, and they said the police were on the scene, but we did not know how the condition the man was in. I regret that decision still, because I honestly could have, or should have, I feel, got out of the car and helped the person that was being brutally attacked. This is something that, for the rest of the drive, we discussed, and which is completely connected to this article, because when was the meta moment? When the shovel struck the man's head, you saw him go down. I can see it right now in my mind. that is when, where did my mind go? It went into flight, right? I was not conscious anymore, and I drove away. So, this article is all about that moment because in history, there are many times where individuals witness something or something devastating happens, and this moment occurs, this meta moment, and there's a decision that has to be made, right? Whether it be the right one or just instincts kick in, and we either fight or flight from the situation. Are you with me on that? Please go into the article, and we're going to brief it quickly. Just the intro. Keep it going.
That's a funny story. I mean, it's not funny. It's not. It was fun.
Alrighty.
Andy's trying to take a video and you were talking about it.
It's okay. It's okay. Go into the article, and I'm going to give you a brief understanding of just the intro for workshop purposes. Ms. Scott asked for a workshop, and she said, I don't know what the article is talking about. I honestly don't understand what is going on in it. So the purpose here is to give you an understanding of what this article is about. The driving question: how can seizing that meta moment aid learning, comprehension, and understanding? So, take 45 seconds and please read through that first part. And the thing to consider when reading this is why the author started this article in this fashion. Why in the world would this author start an article based on a meta moment this way? Okay? So take 45 seconds, read through that small part, and then we're going to discuss.